Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Saturday, March 16th, 2019. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many rules already given to the Search for Truth community by wiser minds above all of us. Those rules include looking up to wiser minds and asking up, what now? What is it that you want me to do? What am I supposed to be doing? And then obviously to do it to the best of our abilities and adjust for the failures that occur, and in such a way attempt to weave a life that is close to the soul plan that we committed to in our sacred vows to Spirit before we were born. This isn't going well. It's not going well for our entire biosphere.
That's true.
Almost nobody is doing what they planned to do before they were born. Wiser minds above are trying to figure out what the breakdown is, what's gone awry. And there are many theories put forth by the wiser minds above in various discussion groups, but there does seem to be consensus that integrity has deteriorated to the point that the lack of integrity is in and of itself a major contributor to the biosphere's disasters. And integrity is such a slippery slope when we decide that it's okay to not call someone else on their untruths when they say something that doesn't seem true, and we decide it's not my business and we just look away or decide to not get involved.
Yeah, that's true.
Then we begin to lose our ability to tell what's true.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's such an easy, slippery slope. And then what happens is that people who are not fundamentally bad people feel like they have to take jobs that require them to do things that are out of integrity, like those, whoever it is who's running the IRS scams, the phone scams.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. They'll call on the cell phones.
Right. And all the scams, it's not just those who say, the IRS is surveilling your property right now.
Yeah.
Local law enforcement officials are coming, etc. And they say it with a cute little accent. But the point is that there are so many scams and so many corporations who present themselves as legitimate businesses have business practices that are lacking in integrity, and people are doing those things.
That's true.
And those people, they've just really messed up their ability to tell what's going on. And there's some people, based on the comments that we've been getting, people who have a real hard time distinguishing what's true from what's not true.
That's true.
And this is a problem. Those two situations are linked. Not being able to tell what's true is linked tightly to the slippery slope of integrity.
That's what they're talking about.
And we just have to start somewhere and do something to clean up the messes of our lives. We have to be willing to decide that we ourselves want to live with integrity, and that
That's
it doesn't
true.
matter what the rest of creation is doing, we can still live with integrity.
That's true. It's very quiet upstairs.
Somebody's asking, how can I tell when I'm living with integrity? There's a student of our Ra's who's answering, and it's a very sad feeling. He said, well, I know what our Ra said when Ra was here. Ra said, you have to be willing to be the one that takes all the garbage.
That's true.
Be willing to be the one that all the bad things happen to.
That's true.
Be willing to be the one that doesn't respond in kind to harshness. Be willing to be kind when someone is being harsh.
That's true. Someone is asking something that might be, how will that help me tell what is true?
We have to do something to stop the spinning wheel of lack of integrity. And so anything we can do to jam something in the spokes of this spinning wheel of lack of integrity is a way to start to tell what's true.
That's true.
We have to be willing to be the one to whom lies are told and not feel like we must be proactive in our lying.
That's true.
That's crazy. And we really need to intend to work for the good guy in our day jobs.
That's what they're talking about.
Because so many people think that they're working for neutral presences or organizations, and they're actually working for the evil empire.
That's true.
But they're thinking of it as neutral, and so when they run across something that's actually neutral, they probably think of that as the good guys. So if we don't think that we're working for the good guys, the actual good guys, really trying to make a difference in the world in a positive way, it's easy to make a difference, just blow up a mountaintop. It's extremely difficult to make a positive difference.
That's true.
And so working for the Peace Corps is an example of making a positive difference. Working for the Marines is an example of making a difference.
That's true.
Because the Marines do a lot of things where they just say, yes, sir, and in their hearts they think, this is not something we should really be doing, but it's not my position to question this, and therefore I'll just go along with it. And these fundamentally really good people, sometimes when they get out of their careers as military, they take a job as a tradesman, and somebody sends them here to do a repair on our tiny farm, and next thing we know, we've got yet another tradesman crying in our kitchen.
That's true.
Saying, who's going to answer to God for the things that I did when I was in the military? And this has happened so many times.
That's true.
That it's clearly a pattern and a message that people get caught up in things.
That's true.
That they wouldn't do if they would just stop and think about it for a little bit.
Someone upstairs is circling back around to the topic of, so finding a career that you can do where you think you're actually making a positive difference, because, and then they're making the go on hand.
Because everything else, odds are good, means that we're doing something that's out of integrity.
That's true.
And the more actions we take that are out of integrity, the more inured we become to lack of integrity. And there's no longer any ba-boomp when something happens that's an out of integrity action. It just kind of fits into the flow of life.
That's true.
And then we've become yet another liar or cheat or thief, or worse yet, bully.
That's true.
And when we didn't set out to be that way, and what somebody's talking about is how what's cool seems to have shifted so that it's now cool to be a cheat.
That's what they're talking about, and they're talking about taxes.
People think it's cool to cheat on their taxes, and this CPA does not think it's cool to cheat on taxes.
No, that's true.
Who do we think we're cheating? And the answer to who we're actually cheating is we're cheating our friends and our neighbors and our families. That's who we're cheating.
That's true.
When we cheat on our taxes, and probably that's not how people frame it in their heads. But that's the truth of it.
And someone way up high who maybe doesn't know we can hear them is saying, maybe they think they're saying it just to themselves, they're saying, well then how do I know what's cool?
Oh, that's the wrong question to ask.
That's
an
true.
example of asking the wrong question.
That's true.
Because when we die, that is never a question that we're asked. We're never asked, were we cool enough? Did we pay enough attention to what's cool? That comes up in the after-death conferences, the same as hair and clothes and makeup. You
That's
spent
true.
too much time thinking about hair, clothes, and makeup. You
That's
spent
true.
too much time thinking about what was cool and not enough time trying to remember what you said you were going to do in your sacred vows to Spirit. And that's what we're here to talk about right now in your exit conference. And all the exit conferences start with that agreement. And is this your signature? And in all the many exit conferences we've observed, hundreds of thousands of exit conferences, it's always the right soul plan. Never
That's
once
true.
has anybody said, wait a minute, that's not my signature. They always say, yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
my
that's
signature.
My signature.
Okay, what did you do on your sacred vows to Spirit? And then people want to talk about all these other things that they did.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
the presences who are running the meeting say, waiter, get this out of here. They don't want to talk about anything except these things.
That's
What
true.
did you do? And there's such a low percentage of action on the soul plan that
That's true.
wiser minds above are really kind of in a lather, a panic, trying to get people to focus on their soul plans, because we're murdering our biosphere. This test planet, we're murdering it.
That's true.
And that means that the training programs that Wiser Minds Above are using are a failure because we're not learning how to live our soul plans. May we please have instant karma, some feedback during the life as quick as possible so that we stand a chance of telling when we're in violation of our soul plan, when we're in violation of our sacred vows. Please may we have instant karma. The pencil point keeps circling around the topic of integrity and how crucial it is.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
it's up to each of us to decide that integrity matters, that truth actually matters. And there are some people who don't seem to be able to tell what's true from what's not true.
That's true.
We would say that most people can't tell what's true from what's not true.
That's true.
And that's dangerous. Deciding to live with integrity is important, and if we haven't decided that integrity matters, then we're not going to make it a priority for ourselves.
That's true.
They're just talking about the same thing
Over and over again.
I don't see the point of saying this for the 10,000th time. I'm sorry. They don't want to do it. Friends,
No,
they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. That's a no. That's what no looks like and feels like and sounds like and smells like, tastes like. That's no. May we please have instant karma, each of us for ourselves, for Ground Zero Planet Earth, and for all who pass through Ground Zero Planet Earth. Please.